In case you're wondering where the next hit is going to come out from the Nigerian stock market, you are not alone. Lots of people are just busy wondering which stock is going to make it. I mean, which stock is going to explode in the nearest future. But I must tell you, that is not actually how the stock market works, even though sometimes it can happen, but that is not always the case. So that is why I always advocate in this channel that stock market rewards patience. It's not a get rich quick strategy. It's something that rewards patience, and patience dogs always eat the fattest bone. So in order for you to make it in the stock market, you have to really master the virtues of patience. So today, I want to share with you something you can actually be doing, especially if you are new to investing and you don't know what to buy. You don't know how to navigate yourself through the stock market. Yes, lots of people have made the mistake. Even myself, I made that mistake when I was starting my investment journey. I was busy buying different stocks, and sometimes I wake up and discover that the stock I bought at a higher rate have now become a penny stock, and this is actually the experience of many people out there. So that is why in this video I'm going to be sharing with you what you should be doing as a beginner investor, especially if you have not mastered the stock market. If you don't know what to buy, if you don't know how to navigate yourself through it, there is a way you can actually make money and also safeguard your capital, because that is what is very, very important to me. The security of my investment is very important to me, even more than my investment or more than the returns. Yes, the security of my capital is very important to me, and that is why big companies always hire risk analysts, because they don't want to lose their funds. So today, I'm going to be breaking down that secret for you, especially if you are new to investing. And that is why you have to follow this channel, Invest with Chikwesiri. In this channel, I teach smart investment ideas using investment tools and platforms like the stock market, real estate, mutual funds, ETFs, bonds, and others. So you cannot afford not to follow me, because I'll be dropping videos every Wednesday that will help you in your investment journey. So today I want to talk about what you should be doing, especially if you are new to investing in the stock market. So there is something called exchange traded funds, that is ETF. Yes, ETF. I have also done a video about ETFs in this channel, so you can do well to look out for that video in this channel so that you can understand what ETF is all about. But in a nutshell, ETF is actually like a basket. Yes, for instance, you have your cash and then you are in the stock market, you are wondering what to buy. So instead of buying the stocks of a particular company, you can decide to buy a little bit of different companies using one particular, one particular stock or one particular instrument that track different company stocks. So that is what ETF is all about. Like in another example, for instance, you have 30,000 naira to pick fruits from the market. So let's say you went to that market and then you decide to buy only apples. Yes, you decide to buy only apples. So if you use that your 30,000 naira to buy only apple, that means you have decided to buy a particular fruit. But let's say that your 30,000, you decide to use it to buy a little bit of apple, a little bit of oranges, a little bit of guava, a little bit of soursop, and you buy all these things together and put them in a basket. So that is what ETF looks like. Yes. So it's a single financial instrument that track different, company stocks that are related. Or most times they are not even related. Like we have in NGS 30 that tracks only top traded companies in Nigerian exchange. So today I want to talk about one particular ETF that is very cheap at the moment, but I'm thinking that it has potentials in the future, especially if you believe that we are going to be eating, we are going to be using beverages, and we are going to be using tobacco. Yes, if you believe that these things, these companies are not going to go into extinction, or these companies, we are not going to do away with them, that means you should be thinking about this particular ETF I'm about to mention to you, because as far as we are alive, as far as we want to sustain our living, that means we'll be making use of foods, we'll be making use of beverages, and we'll be making use of tobaccos. And I'm talking about the ETF called Vetiva Consumer Goods. Yes, Vetiva Consumer Goods is an ETF that is managed by professionals. Yes. So it's Vetiva Consumer Goods ETF. So now in this ETF, remember that I told you that ETF tracks different companies and most times under the same umbrella. What I mean by under the same umbrellas, I'm talking about companies that are related, but in some cases they can also be different. They can track different companies in different fields, maybe based on a particular parameter that the fund managers decide to use. So, but in this case now, I'm talking about consumer goods. Yes, consumer goods. This ETF tracks consumer goods. And I'm going to be mentioning some of the companies that are listed under this ETF, some of the companies that are part of this ETF. And number one, we have Boa Foods PLC. Yes. So if you buy this particular ETF I'm going to mention about, you are buying a little bit of Boa Foods PLC. And the next stock that you'll be buying, if you also buy this particular stock, this particular single stock I'm talking about, is Honeywell Floors. Yes, Honeywell Floors. If you buy this particular stock that I'm about to mention to you, that means you're also buying a little bit of Honeywell's Floors. And the next stocks you'll be buying a little bit of it, if you are buying this particular ETF I'm talking about, is Cadbury PLC, a part of this ETF that I'm about to mention to you. So apart from that one too, we have Champions Breweries. Champions Breweries. So if you're also buying this stock, that means you're also buying a little bit of Champions Breweries. And the next one is Flour Mills of Nigeria. Flour Mills of Nigeria. So if you are buying this particular ETF that I will soon be mentioning to you, that means you will also be buying a little bit of Flour Mills Nigeria. And also, if you have heard about Guinness Nigerian PLC, that is also a part of this ETF I'm about to mention to you. So if you are investing your money in this particular ETF, that means you will also be buying Guinness Nigerian PLC. And the next one that is also part of this ETF is Honey Flour Mills. Yes, Honey Flour Mills is also seated in this particular ETF. So if you buy this ETF, that means you also be buying a little bit of Honeywell's flours. And the next one is International Breweries. Yes, International Breweries. I know that a lot of people are conversant with International Breweries, and maybe most of you even own the single company stocks of International Breweries. So if you are buying this particular stock that I'm about to mention to you, so that means you are also going to be buying a little bit of International Breweries. And the next one is McNichols PLC. Yes, is also seated in this particular ETF. Someone will be asking himself, so why do I need to buy ETFs instead of buying a single particular stock like Access Bank, maybe UBA, maybe Dangote Cement, and what have you? Yes, what happens is that it shields you from market volatility risk. ETFs shields you from market volatility risk, because when you buy a particular ETF that track, let's say 10 companies, the implication is that when 3 companies are down, the other 7 companies may be up. Or even when in worst scenarios, maybe 7 companies are down, that means the other 3 companies will also give your portfolio a little bit strength to make it not to really feel, the downside when it comes to investing in a particular company stock. So that is one of the benefits of ETFs. So this particular stock I'm talking about is called Vetiva Consumer Goods ETF. Yes, Vetiva Consumer Goods ETF. I think at this particular moment, it's selling at the rate of 52 naira per unit. So you can do well to check out this stock, but always remember that this is not an investment advice. Always ensure to do your due diligence before parting with your capital, because as I said, my capital is more important to me than even the returns on investment. So do well to check out for this stock, and also do your due diligence before you decide whether it's a buy for you or a no buy for you. So that is what I have for you today. I'm also going to be talking about the next stock that I own right now that have made me so much millions. And I'm talking about, let me not tell you about these stocks. Check out for my next video. I will see you there. Bye for now.